Hello everyone watching on YouTube and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. I almost called it Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright Trilogy. That would have been backwards, I think. We're back! Farewell my turnabout. We are finishing Justice for All and then getting into Trials and Tribulations today. I haven't played in like 2 weeks. I'm going completely off of memory. I did not refresh myself on what happened last time at all, and there's no way that could possibly come back to bite me. None of you can prove otherwise. Court will now reconvene. I assume both sides are ready. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. I can understand the defense acting like this, however, why do you also seem distraught, Mr. Edgeworth? It's nothing, Your Honor. What's wrong with Edgeworth? Looks like something unexpected just happened to him. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you could please tell the court the results of the handwriting analysis on Miss Impax's suicide note. Yes, Your Honor. Unfortunately, we have discovered that this suicide note is a forgery. What? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This note was not written by Miss Impax herself. It is a fake. Order! Order! Mr. Edgeworth, would you care to explain what is going on? If this was not written by Miss Impax, then who wrote it? We would need more time to do a more detailed analysis. However, it appears that the handwriting matches that of the victim, Mr. Juan Carreta. Mr. Carreta? Well, well. Looks like Miss Impax never left a suicide note after all. She never wrote anything about On Guard. However, Your Honor, even though the suicide note is indeed a fake, Mr. On Guard could not have known that, and so that facts remain unchanged. Acting under the assumption that it was real, he had plotted to possess it. That does sound very plausible. This theory that On Guard had no idea that the suicide note was fake. Something seems a little wrong with it. Wait, what? Present evidence. Alright, my lack of memory is really gonna get me here. Okay, okay. Yeah, alright, that's what's-her-face leaving with the thing. Am I supposed to present evidence here? I don't know. Why would they prompt me here if I wasn't supposed to present evidence? But, like, what evidence could I present that... So I have to give evidence that shows that Matt On Guard knew that Juan Carreta had written a fake suicide note? John Doe. Is that what they want from me here? How would I prove that? Like... I mean, like, we know that On Guard had, like, this stuff to bear with the camera and all that told him everything that Carreta was doing, but, like, Carreta would have forged the suicide note, like, years ago, right? Hasn't it been, like, 2 years since Celeste died? Or something like that? I think it has been. So, like... Great, we're already stuck. I'm just gonna save the game and then not present. But the game basically, when the game gives you an opportunity like this, I think it basically always, whatever, back down. It's no use. Something feels wrong, but I can't put my finger on what it is. Yeah, same. Actually, there is something I would like to ask. All right, well, the game appears to just be proceeding, so I guess we're fine, probably. Mr. Edgeworth, you had stated something earlier to the effect of the defendant had spied on Mr. Carreta's private life. I believe this would mean that he would have known about the note as well. That doesn't make any sense. This stuffed bear was just like the way that he spied on him was just in that hotel room. That's not when he could have made the fake suicide note at any time. Whatever. Sometimes I hate this game. That's it? Yes, and so naturally, this means Mr. Ungard would have known that the note was a fake. She died like 2 years ago. There's no telling when he made the fake note. Order. See here, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. I was the one who thought of the spying thing. Jumping in and stealing my thunder like that is simply, I can't even describe it. What? Yes, sorry. I could have even bragged about embarrassing Mr. Edgeworth to my grandchild had you not— What? For that, I assigned you a penalty. Okay, the second Ace Attorney game is hot trash, bro. What? If only I had kept my mouth shut. So then the defendant knew the suicide note was a fake? You can't prove that! You're just making an assumption. Like a very bad one. If that's true, then the situation has suddenly changed in a very dramatic way. Exactly, Your Honor. The prosecution's theory as to what Mr. Ungard's motive for murder was, it has suddenly disappeared into thin air. But, Your Honor, it's not as if Mr. Ungard monitored Mr. Corita 24 hours a day. Perhaps the victim wrote the note in a place Mr. Ungard didn't know of. Yeah, literally, that's what I'm saying. Well, right back at you, Mr. Edgeworth. Why don't you show us some proof that the victim made the forgery in an unknown place? Why don't you show some evidence that he made the forgery somewhere that Ungard could see it? Well, what? That doesn't make any sense, bro. Order, Mr. Edgeworth. Looks like this time it is you who has dug his own grave. What are you talking about? As I figured. Huh? As you figured. As I figured, it came down to this after all. Mr. Edgeworth, you're not making any sense. Well, neither is this entire case, so. When I heard the results of the handwriting analysis, I thought this might happen. The question is, what next? What next? If the prosecution can't prove Mr. Ungard's motive through the evidence, then we must prove it from another angle. Well, I agree with you there. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call a witness to the stand at this time. Ah, well, that's fine. However, this witness is a little unusual. Edgeworth stuttering? This isn't like him at all. Unusual? Well, what sort of witness is this person, Mr. Edgeworth? This witness is one who is perfectly fit to answer once and for all the question of who was it that hired Shelley DeKiller to commit murder? That's impossible. Who in the... No such person exists who can answer that question with such certainty. There are two people that can answer this question. Matt Ungard and Shelley DeKiller. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth, who is this witness? It is. It's, yes, go on. Who is it? The man himself, Mr. Shelley DeKiller. Okay, yeah. Ah, Mr. DeKiller. Wait! Shelley DeKiller? You mean the killer? I mean the assassin? Yes, Your Honor. He's coming here to the witness stand? Wouldn't he be, like, arrested? Well, yes, in a manner of speaking. I recognize this is a very unusual circumstance, so I ask for your permission. Well, Mr. Wright? Yes? Is this all right with you? Do I have a choice here? I can't really do much else to drag this trial out. The defense has no objections, Your Honor. I wonder if it really is all right to do this. Very well then, the prosecution calls its witness to the stand. Edgeworth, is there no other way left us? Wait, did you guys catch DeKiller? Wasn't Gumshoe trying to catch him and failing? Now then, witness, your name and your, occupation, please. Oh my goodness. It's through the transmitter. Very good, sir. My name is Shelley DeKiller, and I am a professional assassin. Dude. This is like... This is stupid. This is dumb. This isn't like, ha, they, like, interrogated the parrot for, like, 2 sentences. This is beyond stupid. I say! What is going on here, Your Honor? How can you remain so calm? And what is the meaning of this two-way radio? Actually, Your Honor, it was delivered to me just now, and it came with a condition. As long as we do not trace its source, Mr. DeKiller will testify to this court. Okay, we'll trace its source. He's an assassin. So this must be what that urgent phone call he got earlier was about. Oh no, this will not do. I cannot allow this in my court. Yeah, based and correct. First of all, we can't even be sure this is really Mr. DeKiller himself. Correct. Witness, please present some sort of proof that you are, in fact, Shelley DeKiller. I understand. Please wait a second. I'm so hungry. Maya. A voice! Mr. Wright, can you confirm anything from this? The defense has no objections to this person. We are satisfied that this man is indeed Shelley DeKiller. Looks like we have run into yet another unexpected turn of events. Well, it doesn't seem like we have too many choices under these circumstances, so... Now then, witness, there's one thing I would like to confirm before we speak of anything else. And what would that be? At the request of a client, you killed Mr. Juan Carrera. Is this correct? It is as you say. I did indeed kill Mr. Carrera. Now that we've answered that, let's move on to the name of your client. Very well. This is all just a bad dream. Yeah, that's it, a bad dream. That's how I felt for, like, all of the second game, brother. Ever since, like, halfway through Big Top Turnabout. Shelley DeKiller. What is he gonna say? This is so stupid. This is so dumb. There's something I must first state. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself. And that is the reason I'm here today on this witness stand. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client. Okay. Mr. DeKiller seems to be a very clever man. I'd almost say he seems to be mocking us. While he may appear to be our enemy, Your Honor, Mr. DeKiller is only stating the truth. He is no hypocrite. He has always stood by this one belief. You mean about this trust between his clients and himself thing? It seems to be a level of trust beyond what people like me can comprehend. Well, Mr. Wright, are you ready to cross-examine the witness? Yes, Your Honor. There's no way to know what's coming next, so stay cool and collected, Phoenix. What am I cross-examining? He just said, like, hey, by the way, I have a lot of trust with my client or whatever. How... What am I cross-examining here? We can hear anything you have to say later. Can you please just tell us your clients? I don't think you understand your place, Mr. Attorney. I said this is something I must first state. Do you know what the word first means? Sorry, go on. Don't apologize to the murderer, Phoenix. Well, it appears this is one witness you can't badger, Mr. Wright. That's only because you don't know about Maya's situation. To an assassin, nothing is more important to yada yada yada. The trust between you and your client. I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. Ooh, fast and efficient, you say. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. If too many people knew my face, it would be quite troublesome. And that's why you're testifying in this manner? Yeah, but does anyone in chat know? Like, you're not allowed to do this, right? In, like, an actual court of law? You can't testify, like, through a radio, right? I think you can testify, like, through video call, but you have to, like, be on video. I don't think you're allowed to just do it via voice like this. Like, hello? I was gonna say persevere. I must preserve the DeKiller name so my clients can trust me. But couldn't someone stab you in the back and break your trust? It has never happened before, but if it ever did, yeah, that person wouldn't be my client for very long. They would certainly... That's enough, please, no more. Very well, it was only a hypothetical anyway. That is the reason I am here today on this witness stand. That seems a little strange to me. I mean, you're about to tell us the name of your client. I'd think this would be very bad for them. It doesn't matter to me. This client has already broken the rules and acted outside of their prescribed role. Ooh, okay, rules and prescribed role, important. Their role. The This person tried to implicate another of the crime in order to save themselves, and this is a trespass that cannot be forgiven. Who gave you the right to be so high and mighty? To the gentleman who spoke just now, excuse me, but would you care to die? No, I didn't say anything. The judge had better watch himself. It's my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client. Okay, yeah. We understand, so please tell us the name of your client. I'm afraid I cannot do that. All right, well, then what's even the point? Why are we even here, bro? What are we even here for? So I have a few things to say before I do. That egomaniacal. It's not good for your health to be so aggravated. You won't live very long if you let everything bother you. Somehow, that coming from an assassin makes it less than comforting. I don't really care about all this extra fluff, just tell us the name already. Please, please. Patience, try to calm down a little. It's important to try and understand his mindset. Is it though? Is it? Can we like, just trace it, bro? Just trace it. He seems very steadfast and close, so you're going to have to work him to get him to talk. I'm not his therapist, you know? Wait, am I... Wait, so what do I do now? Where's the one where it was like red text? You're about to tell us the name of your client, think this would be bad for them. Doesn't matter to me. This client has already broken the rules and acted out of their prescribed role. Okay. What do I have in the court record that I can, like... Is he talking about the bear again? That, like... Oh, no, wait, doesn't he mention something about, like, it was, whatchamacallit, like, they tried to blame someone? Their role. This person tried to implicate another of the crime in order to save themselves. Okay. Trespass that can't be forgiven. Who gave you the right to be high and mighty? Yeah, would you care to die? Yada, yada, yada. So am I supposed to present evidence? I'm supposed to present evidence talking about how Matt tried to... Well, did Matt try and implicate anyone else? It was Adrian who tried to implicate Matt, right? Is the killer gonna lie and try and pin it all on Adrian? Tell us the name of your client. I'm afraid I cannot do that. I have a few things to say before I do. Egomaniacal. Yada, yada. There are only 4 lines of dialogue here. This one was just him being like, do you know what the word first means? What did he say on this one? The trust between you and your client, yada, yada. Discreet about your identity. Sorry, but I was wondering about something you just said. You said that your client had already broken the rules. Person who frames another is the worst kind of human. Wait, this is different. And that's why you feel you could betray this person? I have no trust relation with a client who can't understand their assigned role. Just my luck, an assassin with a conscience. Who would have figured? Now then, everyone, do you think you can understand my logic? This case just keeps getting better and better. Did I not already... Did I have to, like, push him on a thing twice? Whatever. If you can't, then I'm afraid we can't proceed. Everyone understands your point, I think, really. In that case, I believe I'm prepared to disclose the information you seek. You made it crystal clear that you value trust over all else. I believe we're ready. Excellent. And that is the reason I'm here today. Oh, wait. So, oh, wait, this is different? Now then, I do believe it's about time I revealed the name of my client. Don't you agree? Yeah, hold it. What is it? Now I can't bring myself to ask the client's name. If you can't ask it, Mr. Wright, then I will. Witness, what is the name of your client who requested the murder of Mr. Juan Carrera? That person's name is... Adrian Andrews? Yeah, okay, Adrian Andrews. Yeah, I thought so. He's just gonna lie. What? The music that plays when the known assassin lies in a court of law. Whoever could have predicted such an outcome? Question for you, Chaos. How do you know how well a game will perform stream-wise if it doesn't have a viewer average on Twitch analytics? It does have a viewer average. I don't know how well a game will perform until I see how it does when I stream it. There is a viewer average on Twitch analytics that tells me if a game is performing well or not. That is how. Witness! That's not who you told me it was earlier. Pray tell, what are you talking about, Mr. Prosecutor? I should think I know my own client, and it is Adrian Andrews. What? This can't be on the phone earlier. What's going on here? My guess is that Mr. DeKiller just stabbed Mr. Edgeworth in the back. Stabbed Edgeworth in the back. Honestly, Edgeworth gets it for being an absolute idiot. If Edgeworth is actually surprised here that the known assassin lied to him about who the killer was, then Edgeworth is maybe the stupidest person in this franchise. I'm sure in order to get an audience with this court, Mr. DeKiller told him a different name. Matt on guard, perhaps? I knew it. This is outrageous. I was deceived. This witness is telling a very serious lie. Yeah, he's an assassin! But you are the one who summoned this witness. Grr, you, Shelley DeKiller. My testimony is the truth. The defendant at the moment is Matt on guard, am I correct? All I wish to do is help procure his acquittal. Wow, all of a sudden it feels like we can actually win this. Yeah, but we don't want to win this? Also, what do you mean we can win this? An assassin is the one testifying! Prosecution has failed to provide a motive and has instead provided the suicide note, which is a forgery created by the victim. Furthermore, there is a possibility the defendant himself knew it was a fake. But most definitive of all, we have heard from the assassin himself the name of his client. Mr. DeKiller's client, who requested the murder, was not the defendant at all. No. With all this evidence, it's obvious to me that this means that Mr. Matt on guard is innocent. Wrong. I seem to have caused you all a bit of confusion. Please continue your discussion and call me when you have reached a verdict. Bailiff, please bring Miss Adrian Andrews in immediately. What now? With the way this is going, on guard will be found innocent. This may be our last chance to save Maya. Yeah, but Edgeworth is right. DeKiller is lying. And on guard, my client, I know he's guilty. Can I live with myself if I win this? Who would have believed that the prosecution's own witness would absolve the defendant? Your Honor, the prosecution requests permission to further question the witness. Shelley DeKiller is certainly lying under oath. It wasn't me. Listen, everyone, please. That testimony just now, it was all one big lie. Miss Andrews, the suicide note may have been a fake, but that man, Matt, he's the reason Celeste died. And Juan's death, it was all because he got pulled into Matt's twisted world. That testimony just now, you have to believe me, it was a horrible, horrible lie. But Mr. DeKiller himself has testified. He has named you as his client. No, that's not true. Also, there's quite a bit of evidence that points to you. The knife and button, donning the nickel samurai costume. But that's... You even have a motive. We know that Miss Celeste Impax was a large part of your life. You wanted to follow her, and you wanted revenge against the two who hurt her. I would say you have plenty of reason to want them both dead. No. Mr. Wright. Yo, what's up? You know the truth, tell them. Tell them the real story, who the real killer is, tell them. Please help me. Yes, I know the truth. Mr. Wright, yes, Your Honor. I believe we've reached the end of this trial. Therefore, I ask the defense for any final words or opinions. I have to decide. Do I take the not guilty verdict and save Maya? Or do I throw this chance away and wait for Gumshoe's new evidence? You always count on Gumshoe! What am I supposed to do? Phoenix? I can't do it, Mia. I can't accept a not guilty. You're a lawyer. I know. I honestly, he's not really a lawyer. I don't think that Phoenix is actually a lawyer or that Edgeworth is actually a prosecutor because neither of them understand what their jobs actually mean. Literally neither of them do. But Matt on guard is a killer, a murderer. I can't let him get away with this. I can't let someone else take the fall. If I let Miss Andrews be convicted, then I'm no better than on guard. And even though I don't want to admit it, I have to face the fact that it is because of Edgeworth that I now know the real truth. He could have gotten on guard convicted so many times over, but he never took a single one of those chances. If I take this verdict right now, I'd be betraying his trust. His trust? I never thought about it until now. I trust him? Yes, you do. Mr. Wright, your opinion, please. The defense requests that we be allowed to further question Mr. the Killer. Am I hearing you correctly, Mr. Wright? Right. But, that witness has cleared your client through his testimony. Your job is done. I'm not done yet to see through witnesses' lies and find the truth. That is my job, Your Honor. Not really. You're, like, you should absolutely be fired. Like, you should, what is it, like, disbarred? Like, not allowed to practice law anymore? There's still more evidence to look at, and I'm sure that once those pieces arrive here in this very courtroom, a miracle will occur. A miracle? Very well, the trial will continue. Mr. Edgeworth, please reestablish connection with Mr. the Killer. Right away, Your Honor. Has a verdict been reached? Before that, we would like to talk with you a little more. About? All you needed from me was the name of my client. What else could you need me for? Well, actually, we'd like to hear everything you know about this case. That is how things are usually done. What is he talking about? Usually done? What shall we have him testify about now? Mr. the Killer, if you don't mind, please testify about your client in more detail. You legal people and your procedures. Is it any wonder no one likes to go to court? Yeah, honestly, he's onto something there. About my client, part 2. As I've already stated, what is this in chat? I think my question came out wrong. In other words, it's not possible to know how well a game will perform until after the stream is over. Double checking because I've seen that there exists quite a few games who have an average viewer of 0 according to the analytics, while others have a number. What are you asking me? How well do I know a game will perform for every single user on the platform Twitch? There's no way to know that because it varies from user to user. Some people have more of an audience than other people. Like, there are probably hundreds of people who stream, like, Fortnite, and some people who stream it are, like, really popular, like, big Fortnite streamers and average thousands upon thousands of viewers. And then there's, like, just someone who just started who streams Fortnite and has, like, 0 to 2. Like, your question makes no sense. There is no way to know how a game will perform for every streamer on the platform simultaneously. That's an impossible question. You can only understand how well it will perform for an individual streamer after they stream it. What a strange question. As I've already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However, one thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. My client did it to frame another for the crime. While pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene, Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Corrida was dead. But even more appalling is the creation and planning of the knife and button. That act is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules. I'm gonna have to push on a lot of stuff. This is the most unexpected turn of events for the 5th time now. Yeah, that's how I feel, Judge. For like the 5th time now, this case is still going. However, this time everything has finally been revealed. Just a second, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. We still have the cross-examination to do. But you don't need to question testimony like this. Do you, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, the defense will question the witness, as if I have a choice here. Huh? Why? What this witness has said is nothing but beneficial to the defense's case. If you scrutinize the testimony, then I'll expose the lies in that oh-so-beneficial testimony, I suppose. I don't understand what's going on anymore. That makes 2 of us. I have a friend who said that this was his favorite case, by the way, and I have nothing but respect for that friend of mine, but also I think he's insane. I think that this case sucks. I definitely don't like it. If you do, more power to you, but I think it's very dumb. I think the ordering of events and like what's going on here is dumb. I think that the way that they have Edgeworth basically be a plot device coming in is dumb. That the judge is allowing any of this is dumb. Like, here's the thing, right? is the first Ace Attorney already sets up like, oh, there are spirit mediums, like Maya can channel me as spirit. So they already do a little bit of like pushing your suspension of disbelief to make sure that when they do some of the crazier stuff in court later, you don't question it so much. And they do that really well in the first game, because in the first game, they have the whole parrot thing happen, which is like such a ridiculous thing, but also funny and was so short-lived that you're kind of just like, okay, that was really funny and all, and like, it's fine. In this game, they were like, no, we'll just do whatever we want. Yeah, we'll have them, like, we'll bring the assassin as a witness to the stand, talking over a radio transceiver, and when the judge has already determined that, like, Phoenix's client wins, Phoenix will object to his own client, but the judge will be like, yeah, okay, sure. It completely takes me out of, like, the game entirely, where instead of feeling like I'm playing through, like, a court drama thing, instead I just feel like I'm watching, like, someone's fan fiction of, like, of them just throwing whatever they want at the wall and just being like, wouldn't it be really funny if they, like, if the witness was the assassin and if Phoenix just, like, constantly torpedoed his own case and the judge allowed it because he has to for the sake of the game continuing? I think it's very stupid. I think it's very dumb, and I don't find it interesting or fun, basically. I just find it dumb, and as a result, annoying because it takes so long, and I just want to move on to a different case. Another part is that, like, I don't like this case, and this case is so incredibly long. It is still going because they just keep dragging it and dragging it and dragging it, and it just feels like it's outweighed. It's overstayed its welcome for me. Falk, you're still in my chat. I'm gonna have so much fun talking about this later. So I'm getting in a call with my friends Falk, Lark, and Butter later tonight. They all like Ace Attorney, and my friend Butter is the one who really likes this case. I don't think we need to talk about it, Falk, because it would just be me crapping on Butter's favorite case, which I don't really want to do to Butter. But, you know, we'll see. If I press him the wrong way, it might raise suspicions on his end, but I have to do something to waste more time. Witness about requesting a hit. Yes. How much is your fee? I see you're also quite a dark-hearted man, Mr. Attorney. Huh? If you would like to talk business, we can do so after the trial. Okay, that's very funny. No. Mr. Wright, are you hiring an assassin in the middle of trial? Yes. You want to kill me. You want me dead, don't you? What? Why would you think that, Your Honor? Guilty! Phoenix Wright, you're guilty! Witness, let's continue. Why did you disclose the name of your client? They are your client, are they not? All right, that was a funny gag. I would think that most people wouldn't be able to overlook a person hiring another to kill. If I had a problem with such a thing, I wouldn't be very effective at my job. Ah, yeah. Well, a change in occupation might be good for you. Yeah, his occupation should change from assassin to prisoner. However, I will say this, even though I am the one that does the deed, my clients are always the real guilty party. No, you're the one. What do you mean that goes without saying? Wrong? Wrong? Killing someone just because someone paid you to do it, you are just as guilty as the one who paid you. You are just as guilty. Hello? And their fate is to live with the knowledge of their guilt on their shoulders. However, my client this time thought that they could run away from their guilt. Are you talking about the button and the knife? Yes, and my business card. Ah, this card. So that no one has to waste their time, including the police, I always make it a point to make things as easy as possible. All right, that's kind of based. You try to make things easy. My business card makes it very easy to identify who carried out the service. He's pretty devoted to his work. But to disregard everything, to go and stab the deceased with a knife and even hide my card from sight, that's something I cannot overlook. It's real hard to tell if he's being truthful or not without him being here. So you're saying most clients wouldn't do such a thing? That is correct. Usually, most people try to create an alibi for themselves. If you should use my services, Mr. Attorney, I would suggest you plan for your alibi too. No, I already told you I have no intention of using your services, ever. Why does he keep looking at me like I'm the one on trial here? Adrian Andrews, yada, yada, yada. From the very beginning, That is correct from before my client visited the room. All of my clients know precisely what the situation is at all times. I wonder if that's really true. That's odd. Wait, that's odd? Run that by me again? From the very beginning, that's correct. From before my client visited the room, all my clients know precisely what the situation is at all times. Wonder if that's really true. That's odd. Okay, so there's something odd about him saying that his client knows what's happening at all times. Got it. Even more appalling is the creation of the yada yada. So why do you think your client did that? What do you mean by why? Well, fiddling around at the scene of the crime is pretty risky, and why would someone who has requested a murder go to the crime scene anyway? That's true. I assume it was probably done to frame Mr. Ungard. If that's the case, then why didn't the person just request that you do it? Sadly, that is not possible. Huh? My job is to kill, that is all, and to leave my business card behind naturally. The business card is so my clients may escape blame. To protect them is my duty. Even if they say it's for revenge, setting someone else up to take your fall. Breaking the rules. That's all you have to testify? Yes, and I pray that I will never be called to the stand again. Again? As in you plan to continue? I must, as I have yet to find a person to take my place and become the 4th successor. Actually, how would you like a new life, Mr. Attorney? Excuse me? I'm starting to think that this is Butters, my friend Butters' favorite case, purely because of DeKiller's jokes in this section. Excuse me? No, I'm fine, really. Are you really now? Wonder what kind of man the judge thinks I am now. What are you gonna do now, Phoenix? All I can do now is expose the lies. That's true, however, you realize that will be very bad for our client, right? I'm so confused. But the one thing I know for sure is I can't let this trial end yet. Okay, so the one I must have to press him on is this one, I think it was, right? From the very beginning, you say. That is correct, from before my client visited the room. All of my clients know precisely what the situation is at all times. I wonder if that's really true. That's odd. Okay. Already knew he was beginning from the... I don't know... What could I possibly... Do I have anything that can, like, mess with this? I mean, I know that Adrian at some point or another said maybe I'm supposed to show something with the spy cameras and be like Matt on guard should have like seen all this happening. This is obviously the one I'm supposed to push on, but I don't understand how. Knew from the very beginning that he was dead. That is correct, from before my client visited the room. All my clients know precisely what the situation is at all times. I have no idea. Someone in chat tell me what to present here. Someone in chat just tell me. I'm so done with this case. I don't want to play this case anymore. Someone just tell me what I'm supposed to present here. Because I have literally no idea, and I don't want to try and, like, I don't want to waste, like, another 10 minutes trying to figure it out or trying different things. Just get me out of here. The spy camera? The music didn't stop? Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence. It doesn't? Okay, so when I asked chat, someone tell me what I'm supposed to show here, what I meant is someone who knows the answer tell me what to present here. Don't just, I can just pick random things, chat. I don't need you to Just get me to present random things. I can do that. I would like someone who knows the answer to it's wine glass. Thank you, Falk.
Objection!
The wine glass? Why? Thank you so much for taking the time to testify, Mr. DeKiller. What is the meaning of that attitude? When Adrian Andrews entered the victim's room, your client had no idea that Juan Corrida had been murdered. But how do you know that? From this wine glass, Your Honor. What? The glass? Mr. DeKiller's supposed client thought Mr. Corrida had only fainted, which is why this glass of tomato juice was poured for the victim. Okay, yeah, but listen, once again, yeah, I was about to say, once again, saying this makes no sense because the response to this is just like, she lied. Like, all DeKiller or Edgeworth has to do is say, yeah, she lied to make an alibi with the tomato juice. And that blows Phoenix's entire argument out of the water. That's not possible, Your Honor. This glass bears the fingerprints of that person. Had this been planned, they would never have left their fingerprints behind. Well, I don't know about that one. I see your point, Mr. Edgeworth. What is your opinion? Strangely enough, I had the same exact thought just now. Witness, how do you explain this strange phenomenon? Isn't it a waste of time to ask about such a minor detail? Better question, isn't it a waste of time to be like, maybe she just messed up and touched the wine glass? It's not a very important point anyway, correct? I'm afraid you're mistaken. If Adrian Andrews really is your client as you claim, your client should have had knowledge of Mr. Corrida's death. If not, then that can only mean that Adrian Andrews was never your client at all. Sure, whatever. How strange. Yes. Why is it that the attorney is yet to raise an objection to this absurd situation? Phoenix, if DeKiller figures out what we're up to, we're in real trouble. By the way, DeKiller is an absolute moron for not realizing what Phoenix is up to already. He is beyond stupid. Everyone in this case is an idiot. Every last one of them. Yeah, I know. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm surprised. You know you can't say things like that without any evidence. Ah, sorry. Well, that was an awfully weak objection for the two of you. Anyway, I'm positive there was a contradiction in that testimony. Prosecution requests further testimony concerning when the request was taken. Very well. Right now, I have to buy us more time. Yo, why doesn't DeKiller just say, I'm not doing this anymore? While we wait for the items DeKiller left behind to get here. I just know that the very outcome of this trial lies with those items. This entire case falls apart if DeKiller just stops. If DeKiller is just like, hey, I'm hanging up, then it's over. This request came to me about a week ago. It was a request for my services on the night of the awards ceremony. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. That is what occurred. I trust my memory, and I believe I've made no mistakes. So you physically met your client, huh? That is correct. Meeting one's client is the first step to building trust, in my opinion. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Oh my goodness, I have already been streaming for over 40 minutes, and we are still in this case. Hold it! 1 week ago, are you sure? Yes, I'm quite sure. I, of course, had my own preparations, and I was barely able to finish. When you request my services, Mr. Attorney, I hope you'll keep that in mind. Please stop. In any case, my client this time... I hope that when I talk to Butter about this case later tonight, he tells me the whole reason he likes this case is because DeKiller keeps saying that he'll work for Phoenix. It's the only take I will find acceptable for liking 2-4. In any case, my client this time had a very specific date and time in mind. A specific date and time. The night of the award ceremony. Did you ask why on that specific night? No, I try to fulfill all the conditions of my client's request. But as for why, I only had my suspicions. Your suspicions, huh? Press further. So what are these suspicions you had? Why'd your client request that night? I'm sure it was all for the bear. The bear? The bear. My client spoke of it. I'm sure there will be a bear-shaped figurine in Juan Corrida's room. I would like you to retrieve that item for me. You must be talking about this bear puzzle. Inside that figurine was a suicide note. Naturally, the victim brought it with him to his hotel room. He was planning to publicly disclose its contents at the press conference after all. That is correct. And if I had not done the job that night, I would not have known where that bear figurine was. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony of just now any importance? Yes. Testimony just now has made one thing clear, and that is... the client knew the secret of the bear figurine. Huh? Why is everyone so quiet? Mr. Wright, I think all of us already knew that. Oh, really? Witness, please continue with your testimony. All right. And at a certain bar to discuss and finalize matters. You physically met Adrian Andrews, right? Of course I did. What was that? What was with that brief pause? Press further. Witness, I would like for you to give us a few more details. I always meet my clients as a matter of principle. I've never taken a request by telephone or mail. And why is that? That's because I value the trust between a client and myself above all else. And the only way to establish that is to speak to the client while looking them in the eye. Well, Mr. Wright, was it of any importance? Yeah, it was very important. I'm just gonna say that for all of them. Of course it was very important, Your Honor. If Mr. the Killer had met his client before the murder, then it's unlikely he is mistaken. You're saying that his client really was Adrian Andrews? I guess so. You see, it is just as I said. Ah, I'm so lost. Who the heck am I supposed to be helping here? Yeah, what is happening in this case? Calm down, Phoenix. Think carefully and relax. Now then, would the witness please continue? Hold it. So your client was Adrian Andrews. That is correct. Well, he says the two of them met. But if they did, then there shouldn't be anything wrong with the killer's testimony. Well, there doesn't seem to be anything strange this time around. You have to draw more information from him, but you can't draw a suspicion. If you can do that, you should be able to find a flaw in his testimony somewhere. Okay. Talk about a delicate balance. What happens if I say they're not important? There were like two things where I said it's very important. Do I need to say it's not important? Talismans are very important, not important. Talismans are very important, talismans not important. Talismans are very important, not important. Inside it was a note, yada yada. Maybe like if I say something was not important words, then Edgeworth will intervene. What the killer said sounds plausible, but in the end it's just his conjecture. No, Your Honor, I don't think it's very important. Well then, witness, please continue. All right, that didn't do anything. You physically met Adrian Andrews. Of course I did. Yada yada, press further. Or maybe I'm supposed to hit let it go on one of them? Maybe the killer is a big fan of Frozen? It was not important. Why he meets his clients is not important, and that wasn't the point. Witness, please stop sidestepping my questions. What do you mean by that? My question was, did you really meet Adrian Andrews in person? I've already told you, Mr. Wright, I did. It was only through talking with him face to face that I began to trust him. You just said him. That's when I thought I can trust this person as a client. Okay, you just said him, and Adrian Andrews is very clearly a woman. Now, maybe you could get away with this in, like, 2025 or something, but, like, back then, you would, this is like a gotcha moment. It's true what they say about talking face to face. Well, Mr. Wright, was there anything of important? Yeah, it was very important. He misgendered the client. If I heard what I think I heard just now, then I think I've got him. Your Honor, I believe the testimony just now was of the utmost importance. Huh? Really? If that's the case, witness, please include the statement just now in your testimony. Very well. From the moment I saw him, I thought I can trust this person. Okay, yeah, him. I'm gonna save before I... What evidence am I gonna present? Like Adrian's... I could probably just hold it. As we know now, that was not how it turned out, correct? What do you mean? Adrian Andrews turned out to be a client who couldn't stick to the rules, right? Well, yes, I suppose you are correct. So I would like to check one last time. Are you sure your testimony is accurate? It's the fact that you say him here. Can I just show Adrian's profile because she is clear? Oh, hello. Nice. A professional assassin. Yeah, this is a woman, an intelligent woman. The music stopped. I'm a genius. I'd like to go over this one more time. You met Adrian Andrews at a bar and took the request at that time? Yes, that is correct. And that's when you thought he was trustworthy. How many times must I repeat myself? Yes, that is correct. I'm sorry, but that's an impossible tale. What? Shelley the Killer. You've never met the real Adrian Andrews. Why would you say that? Because you made one very big slip-up. About her. So what is the issue? What did you say just now? About her? If you had ever met Adrian Andrews in person, one look would have told you she's a woman! Oh! Your Honor, we need another transceiver. Order in the court! Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this? This witness testified to the following, that he always meets face-to-face with his clients when taking their request. But he's never met Adrian Andrews in person. Yes, Your Honor, that is exactly the point. That means Mr. DeKiller's client could not have been Miss Adrian Andrews. What was the thing? Sweating oil? What was that? Mr. Edgeworth, I understand your logic on this one. However, why would the assassin make such a basic mistake? I believe it has to do with her name, Your Honor. It is like a very male-sounding name. Her name? Yes, Adrian Andrews is, without a doubt, a very androgynous name. Yes, I see. Unluckily for Mr. DeKiller, the entire time he was on the stand, no one had stated Adrian Andrews' gender. And so he simply picked the wrong gender to go with. What? What is going on? I would even say that Adrian is more commonly like a dude's name than it is a girl's name, in my experience. Like, it can be androgynous, but I don't even think it's a very androgynous name. I think that it leans more towards being a guy. Shelley DeKiller, this court demands an explanation. I think somehow I must have mixed up this client with another. Oh, okay. Does that mean you remember something different now? Yes, of course. Please, if you would allow me to testify once more. I know he's just gonna spit out more lies. Very well, but this time, please give us the truth and nothing but the truth. Yeah, I'm sure that the paid assassin will give us the truth. Yeah, totally. For sure. 100%. You know what? Now that we've caught him in a lie, I believe in him to tell the truth this time. Is there anyone in this franchise that hasn't committed perjury, by the way? Anyone? Yes, now I remember. I took that request by mail. You literally said that you never do that. There have been times when I took a job without having met my client. You literally said you never do that. He literally is 180. The request was for the murder of Juan Corrida and 2 or 3 other small things. When I saw the name at the end of the letter, I thought my client to be a man. So you took his job through a letter. He didn't mention anything about a letter in his earlier testimony, which means he's definitely lying. He literally said that he never does that. Can I just bring that up? Can I just bring that up? That, like, he said he never does that. How, like, mixing up 2 clients is already an insane lie. But to say I never take clients by mail and then say, actually, this one I did, like, come on. Be careful, Phoenix. If you break the assassin's testimony completely, it's over for us. I know, I can't make him sus, but I think we're okay. Like, we can do this. As long as he's standing there across from me, no matter how strong of a punch I throw, he'll counter it. Now then, let's begin the cross-examination. You've literally beaten Edgeworth in court cases before, by the way. Like, Edgeworth could just fail miserably at some point. Edgeworth trusted the assassin to tell him it was Matt on guard, and then the assassin lied on... All I'm saying is that Edgeworth is an idiot, okay? Yes, now I remember. I took that request by mail. There have been... Oh, wait, why am I reading this again? I'm supposed to hold it now. Didn't you just say that you always meet your clients? Yes, I suppose I did say that. However, there are some clients for whom a meeting is simply not possible. Didn't you meet your client this time? No, I did not. Ah, come now. Let's stop with this game of cat and mouse. Using your silkiest voice is not going to work on me. All right, then, just cough it up and confess. Mr. Wright, you can't badger a witness with such harsh words. Your Honor, this witness is an admitted murderer! You're a lawyer, so behave like one and present evidence instead of mindlessly yelling. Now then, do you have any proof that Mr. DeKiller met with his client? Other than him saying he did? No? Sorry, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I don't have any proof. I see. Then your line of questioning was just another waste of time. Sadly for us, Your Honor, that is the nature of right and wrong. Okay. And why would you not meet certain clients? Recently, I've been receiving more requests. If I met each and every client, I would lose some nice business opportunities. Nice business opportunities? On top of which, the times have changed. It is now the age of information and computers, correct? Well, I have joined the times, and now I take requests via electronic mail. Electronic mail? Do you have to mail that in a special insulated envelope? Okay, we get it. The judge is old and stupid. I'm very sorry. I despise the shortening of words. What I meant by electronic mail is what is commonly referred to as email. Email? In a contest of mimicry, the judge would beat a parrot hands down. Anyway, so you took this job without having met your client, and... 2 or 3 other things? Yes. And what were these other things? A few other things that have nothing to do with this case. What should I do? Should I let him slide with that? It'd be really bad if I pushed his buttons the wrong way and he got mad. Press him. What could go wrong? Whether or not they're related to this case is for the court to decide. Mr. Attorney. Uh-oh. Yes, everything I've said from the beginning has been nothing but beneficial to your client, which is why I wonder what is pushing you to continue with this cross-examination. Could it be that you're planning to betray your own client? I smell the stench of a backstabber. And should you turn out to be one? Wait. Uh-oh, this is looking really bad. I shouldn't press my luck. All right, I have to think, is this worth pursuing? Do you think I would actually lose if I pressed here? Can I save? I'll just save and press further. What could go wrong? Witness, this is a very important matter. Please cooperate and tell us what these other jobs your client requested were. If it's truly that important, I suppose I don't have much of a choice. The killer is an idiot. The bear figurine. The bear figurine? After the assassination of the target, I was to find that figurine. I was told that this job was just as important as the actual killing. And where was the figurine? It was inside Mr. Kurida's suitcase. And then what'd you do next? I handed it over to my client right away. You gave it to your client. Interesting. This information certainly sounds important to me. Witness, include what you just stated in your testimony. As you wish. Okay, so this is where I need to, like, push. I found this figurine at Mr. Unguard's mansion. If you gave it to Miss Andrews, what was it doing there? I was waiting for her there. That was also part of the plan to frame Mr. Ungard, I'm sure. That makes a lot of sense. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any problems with this piece of testimony? Is there a contradiction? What would the contradiction be? I can't think of anything that would be a contradiction here. No objections. It's no use as long as I can't put my finger on the central problem here. Pressing this witness anymore would be extremely dangerous. Appears Mr. Wright has no problems. Well then, witness, please continue. Hold it. So you're saying that you never saw your client's face, not even once? I did, once. It was when I went to give my client the figurine. Yes, I see. But Miss Andrews was wearing a mask at the time. A mask? The Nickel Samurai mask, I'm guessing. Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about this? Do you have any problems with this piece of testimony? No, that makes sense. No? Will Edgeworth say something? I think I could pull something out of what he said, but it would be real bad if I did something and made him mad over something trivial. No problems with the testimony, Your Honor. Pretty much reached the end of our rope here. Huh? Seems like we're still okay to me. That's exactly what's so bad. At the rate we're going, we will end up completely destroying the killer's lie. If we do that, you already know how serious of a situation that'll put us in. Oh yeah. All I can do now is pray that those items reach us in time. So I can present evidence on this one or this one? How would you know how to give the bear figurine to Adrian Andrews if you didn't know, like, well, I guess they just told you, like, what door to go to, right? Probably, maybe. I assume. I don't know. Chat, what am I supposed to do here? Just tell me. Just tell me. I just want to play Trials and Tribulations. When we get to Trials and Tribulations, I'll go back to not having chat tell me what to do. Like I did in the first game and for most of this one. But like, I can't be bothered with this case anymore. I really can't be bothered. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to press? What evidence am I supposed to show? Someone get me out of this case. Please, please save me. Where is Gumshoe when I need him most? Found this figurine on Guard's mansion, gave it to Andrews, yada yada, was waiting there, part of the plan to frame, makes a lot of sense. No one in chat is giving me the answer. I'm gonna have to look up the answer. Falk can't figure out what question we're on to give me the answer. Falk, how could you fail me when I needed you most? I'll be bringing this up in our call tonight. I'm just gonna like Google, this is 2-4, right? Ace Attorney 2-4. 2-4 guide. Here we go. Oh, someone in chat told me. Present Celeste's note or the figurine on the new statement. Which one of these is the new statement? It's this one, right? This is the one? The one about the bear figurine? I think this was the new one that was added. Cass, do you actually just want the guide? I just got a guide on my phone. It looks like, let me look at this real quick. Does this guide just like tell me everything I need to know? Yeah, this looks like, okay, I think I have a guide. If I get stuck again, I'll just look at that. That makes a lot of sense. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any problems? There's a contradiction, Your Honor. This is an assassin! Pitward! Whatchamacallit? He'll cut the connection on his end. If you want to make a strong point, Phoenix, you have to present strong evidence. She's right, so now what, Dr. Wright? Present evidence. Witness, let's go over this one more time. You gave Miss Andrews the bear figurine, and she told you to take the bear and wait for her at the mansion. Is that correct? Yes, where are you going with this? Well, I think maybe you might have remembered a few things incorrectly. What? This is a battle of wits. I can't let up on him. I don't think it's possible for Miss Andrews to have been the recipient of this bear. What did chat tell me to do on this one? Celeste's note. All right, that's right. Shelly DeKiller, if you had really given the bear to Miss Andrews, then this item should not have been inside it. Oh, okay, I understand. This item? I see where you're going. Yep, that's where I'm going. Where's everyone going? Do I need to pack a suitcase? All right, sometimes they make the judge a little too stupid for like a one-off joke. Your Honor, please think back to Miss Andrews' testimony. I was gonna burn it for her sake. If even for a single minute this bear had actually been in Miss Andrews' hands, I'm sure she would have taken the suicide note out and burned it. Order, order, so that's where you two were going. So by the very fact that the suicide note was still inside the bear, it tells us that your client didn't know how to disassemble the puzzle. Which means... It means, Your Honor, that it's impossible for Adrian Andrews to be the client. Oh! Order, order! Where are my chicken nuggies? Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'm sure I mentioned this before, how I hate traitors above all else. I think your cross-examination has clearly demonstrated something to me. You must wish to break your end of our agreement. No, that's not. That's enough. If that is your intention, then there's only one thing for me to do. Wait, please. Gentlemen, ladies, please excuse me. I have a matter that I must attend to. No, please, not that. Please wait. Mr. Attorney, bringing this trial to a speedy end, and I may stay my hand. Otherwise... Nah. What in the... Mr. Wright, are you... Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. I didn't understand this witness's outburst just now. Do you think there is a need to hear more testimony, or is this enough? Well, we should. Edgeworth, we can't do this. If we keep this up, Maya, she'll... whatever. No. The prosecution, What has come over everyone? Even you are. The prosecution rests. What is going on? The prosecution has no further questions, Your Honor. What? What? Well, I never thought I'd see the day. This is a most unusual situation. If the prosecution rests with no further questions, then the prosecution has failed to uphold its stance. If that's the case, then, even though I am reluctant, I must believe that Mr. DeKiller's testimony is accurate. That would mean that Shelly DeKiller's client is Adrian Andrews. Nah. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. If I end the trial here right now, then your client, Matt Ungard, would be declared innocent. And in his place, Adrian Andrews would be charged with murder. Miss Andrews would be charged with murder. The prosecution has no further questions, so we will now hear the defense's final remarks. Bailiff, please bring the defendant, Matt, on guard, to the stand. The items from DeKiller's hideout didn't make it in time. We tried as hard as we could, but it looks like our time has run out. Can't believe it. The outcome now lies in your hands. Dude, did the old guy finally decide? To be honest, I can't think of you as a truly innocent and good person. You've done enough evil to drive a woman to suicide. But, at least on the charge of murder, it would appear you're innocent. Ha! Your Honor, did you see where he just revealed that he's like an evil villain? So I guess even the old fuddy-duddy figured me out. Fuddy-duddy? Mr. On Guard, what an atrocious lawyer I have, giving his own client up like this. And that refreshing like a spring breeze crap, it's just as atrocious, don't you agree? He's literally just giving away that he's a villain. Anyway, get on with it and pronounce me innocent already. Right, Mr. Lawyer? Should I side with justice or should I save Maya's life? Maya can just, like, come back by possessing, what's-her-face? Small child. Not a big loss. You'd better get on guard, a guilty sentence, okay? But if I did that, Maya will die. These things, they happen. But if I say he's innocent, then Miss Andrews will be charged as the murderer. Do I say he's guilty or not guilty? Either choice I make, someone's life is gonna end. Yeah, I don't really care about Adrian or Maya, to be honest, so. Like, the game has given me no amount of, like, oh, I'm so worried about what choice I make here, because I literally don't care about either outcome. It all hinges on what I choose. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statement on this matter. If the person who hired the assassin was Adrian Andrews, then your client, Mr. Matt on Guard, is innocent. Ha! There's no need to ask, old man. After all, my lawyer is gonna say what I want, aren't you? Right? I can't do this, but I have to decide something. I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. Listen to my heart. Okay, bro. My client, Matt on Guard, is guilty! Your Honor, my client brought alcohol into the courtroom. Yeah, can we have him arrested, please? We are waiting for your answer, Mr. Wright. Matt on Guard, your client deserves an answer. Maya, I'm sorry. Matt on Guard is... Oh. Franziska's here. Hi. Franziska von Karma! What are you doing here? Ow! You see now, don't you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? This is exactly why you should never take your eyes off of that scruffy fool. Yo, stop disrespecting my boy Gumshoe. Did you bring them? The final pieces? Do you have them? You should know better than to ask that, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. Von Karma is perfect in every way. Wrong. Literally wrong. You say this every time, and it's wrong every time you say it. The evidence is here in perfect condition. Don't worry about Scruffy. He's fine, as his injuries are minor. Let's go, my boy. All the items are inside this. The iconic jacket! Let's go! What a filthy old coat this is. Don't disrespect my boy's strip. That's Gumshoes. I can spot his tattered rags anywhere. I apologize for its ugliness, but there was nothing else to wrap the items in. I fought long and hard this whole trial, all for what is inside that raggedy coat. I'm sure that inside that coat lies a crucial piece of evidence. Your Honor, but wait, did Gumshoe, like, catch DeKiller? Because if DeKiller still has Maya, then this is all pointless, isn't it? Your Honor, inside that filthy coat, why do they... Stop being mean to Gumshoe. Like, die in a fire. Are the defense's final pieces of evidence? Your final evidence? I swear, if I get hit with the to be continued here, I'm literally going to read the guide bit by bit to just speed through this. This trial is already over. All that remains is for me to hand down my verdict. I do not believe that any evidence presented now would change the outcome of the trial. What? Your Honor, it is our duty to examine every piece of evidence down to the last. I request that Miss Von Karma be allowed to present these pieces of evidence. I suppose you're right, Mr. Edgeworth. I grant permission to do so. However, this one obvious rule applies here. If these items do not bring up any new points, then they will not be accepted by the court. Now, Miss Von Karma, if you please. These pieces of evidence are items left by DeKiller during his escape from the police. He must have been in quite a rush. Yes, Your Honor, DeKiller left 3 pieces of evidence. Somewhere among the evidence we're about to see, there will be something that will turn this whole situation around like a miracle. Yeah, but how does that stop DeKiller from killing Maya? I'm sure of it. That's all we can hope for. First item is a pistol. Does the killer's pistol have anything to do with this case? No, because he didn't shoot him, he choked him. Pretty sure there was no gun involved in this case. There's no real benefit to hearing about it. Please present the next piece of evidence. It's just gonna be the last piece of evidence, right? Second piece of evidence is this videotape. Bet the killer took that from unguarded mansion. Okay, this might actually be worth something, probably. Save the game real quick. Have you checked the contents of the tape? Unfortunately, there was no time to. Oh yeah, but I would speculate that this tape is very important. Why would you say that? Because he came back to his hideout for it. The killer went back for it? That's right, it looks like he was trying to recover it. He injured 3 of the officers at the site. But somehow it looks like they managed to protect it from the killer. Shelly the killer is no ordinary man. Okay. Violently tried to recover it. Last piece of evidence is this bellboy's uniform. All right, that's how he kidnapped Maya. I guess I should just question them all for more details. Was that used during the crime? I'm almost certain it was. There's even a pair of black leather gloves in one of the pockets. Oh, he also did it when he went to kill the dude. Yeah, right. There's no doubt about it. The killer was wearing this on the night of the murder. There is one thing I found interesting about this uniform, and what is that? There's a button missing on this uniform. A button? It's a very unique button. I'm sure if we were to recover it, it would provide us with an interesting clue. Worn by the killer on the night of the murder, one of its special buttons is missing. That is all I have to present, Your Honor. It's just as I thought. And what is that, Your Honor? I'm sure, were we under normal circumstances, these items from Shelly the killer's hideout would be very important clues. However, our question is not who did the killing. It is who is the client. Okay, and the videotape is going to show us that it's the client, right? Yes, that is correct. And these 3 items do not tell us anything about that. Thank you for your hard work, Miss Von Karma. You may step down now. Wait, Your Honor. Please allow me to examine this new evidence. Overruled. This court already has all the evidence it needs to hand down a verdict. Wonderful, absolutely splendid. This judge is a brilliant man, isn't he? Is this the end? Phoenix, I knew it. There's no such thing as a miracle in this world, is there? I think you're wrong. I think they do exist. Their whole pushing on the word miracle is so weird to me. Has there been like an overarching, like they just started using the word miracle for no reason in like the last day of the trial, didn't they? Like the focus on the word miracle is so strange to me. You've come this far, you can't give up now. But no matter how you think about it, it's... Try for my sake, just think about it for a second. There are 2 ways out of the situation for us. 2? It's getting out of hand. The first... Make unguarded wish from the bottom of his soul for a guilty verdict. Yeah, it's not happening. He doesn't have a soul. The killer will always place his client's wishes first. If unguard himself wishes to be convicted, then he will let his hostage go. That may be true, but that's asking me to do the impossible. The second way forces the killer to end his contract with unguard. If the killer were to no longer think of unguard as his client, then he would let Maya go. Mia, that's even more impossible. He's a man who values his duty towards his clients above all else. I know both of these seem like impossible feats at first, but if you could make either one happen, it would truly be a miracle. The bigger problem is the judge has already said he doesn't need any more evidence. Pieces he was just shown, he's not accepting them. Phoenix, think things through from the other side. Isn't that what has always worked for us? The other side? Wait, does she mean? You mean to turn things around? Yeah, the turntables. Phoenix, the judge says he doesn't need the evidence. If that's the case, then who does need it? The person who needs the evidence? The defense, prosecution, and the judge. We've all seen all the pieces of evidence. And that is how we have come to know the truth. But there's one person who is yet to see them all. And that person does not know the truth. One person who has not seen all the evidence? The truth, it may be what will bring about the miracle in the end. There are no objections this time, correct? Now then, I will pronounce my verdict. Why don't we all respectfully sit back and listen, kids? Objection, by the way. I have already told you, Mr. Wright, this court does not need any more evidence. I'm not saying it is us that needs the evidence, Your Honor. Then you want to show the evidence to that person? Yes, Your Honor. Please, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, for you to ask with such passion, I will grant you one chance. One chance. Please show your evidence to who you think is the right person. That's impossible to turn this situation around in one try. One try, that is all I will permit. I have to try to remember. Everything that has happened up to this point, think, Phoenix, think. There must be a way to save Maya while taking Unguard down at the same time. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's not waste any more time. Who would you like to show the evidence to? Okay, so I'm obviously supposed to pick a profile. Maya is impossible. Pearl doesn't matter. Gumshoe is injured. Franziska's seen it all. Edgeworth has seen it all. Will? Lotta? I don't see how it would be either of those two. Actually, I think I know who it is. It's gonna be the killer, right? Because he hasn't been here, so he hasn't seen all of the evidence. You're dead. This is also the killer. Adrian has seen all the evidence. You've seen all the evidence. If I have to interact with Lotta or Old Bag again, I'm going to end this playthrough. Carita is dead. I cannot fathom how it would be Will. The only person here who hasn't seen all the evidence is Shelly the Killer, and also Maya said we either have to get Unguard to have a change of heart, which we're not a Phantom Thief, so we can't do that, or we have to get Shelly the Killer to renounce their contract. So it must be that I have to talk to the Killer again. I see. And now tell this court what one piece of evidence you would like to show this person. The videotape? What, I opened a guide. What am I doing? What do I show him? Present the videotape. I was right. I'm a genius. Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? Also, when I looked at the videotape thing, it says that I was supposed to show it to Shelly the Killer, so I was right. I think there is some merit in showing this evidence to that witness. Bailiff, bring in the transceiver. All right, it looks like I managed to convince him. Also, this guide I have, when I just looked at that, it was like almost at the bottom of the webpage. So I think we're finally almost done. After another, we're almost at an hour and a half. This case is too long. Maya, she's okay, right? Didn't I tell you to concern yourself with bringing about a speedy end to this trial? Now, if I understand correctly, you wish to show me one piece of evidence? Yes, one is all I need. I have here a videotape. It was found at your hideout. I heard you injured 3 officers in your attempt to get this back. That was most regrettable. However, it was an order from my client. I was told to protect that videotape. I thought so. I'm afraid I seem to have failed in that regard. Do you know the contents of this tape? I was sternly told by my client to not watch it, so I have absolutely no idea. Actually, you're on this tape. Me? Oh, because this videotape shows the killer doing the murder. Right. Okay, I remember. This was like 4 weeks ago for me. It was like 3 streams ago or something. That, Unguard said... Didn't Unguard mention something about wanting evidence of the killer so that he would be able to blackmail him in the future? There was a video camera hidden at the crime scene. Your actions were being recorded. What? Is that true, Mr. Wright? Who was it that planted a camera? Well, the only person who could have placed a camera at the scene of the crime would be your client, naturally. That was Adrian Andrews. Be quiet and listen, Your Honor. Yes, sir. Your client specified a place and time for you, right? Yes. That was so they could film you. I had no idea. Mr. Wright, why would my client do such a thing? I would like to know why. Why did Matt Unguard film the crime scene? The reason why he did that is my ticket out of this mess. There's only one reason why your client would secretly film the crime scene. They wanted to blackmail you. Wait a minute, let me double check because I didn't save the game. Let me double check that this is what the guide says to do. Okay, I'm right. Guide says wanted to blackmail you. Your client once told me something very interesting. We were talking about you, and this is what they said. But I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone, least of all assassins. Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. Why did Shelly the Killer believe that Unguard was worth trusting, bro? Yes, that's where the video comes in. With that, I can keep him at bay and even blackmail him if I want. Your client didn't trust you at all. They were thinking of using this video to blackmail you. What do you have to say to that, Shelly the Killer? Yeah. Oh. It looks like I was being deceived from the very beginning. Yes, by a natural. That is the kind of person they are. Your client is a person who only thinks and plots of how to use the people around them to protect themselves from any and all dangers that may arise. That is the true nature of your client. I have one question for the witness. Yes? You told us one thing numerous times during your testimony. You said that you detest traitors most of all. Yes, that's right. But what if that traitor was your own client? What would you do then? That's obvious. I would break our contract in that case. And then, that client would become my next target. For the honor of the killer name, even if it takes an eternity, I would follow that person to the ends of the earth to exact my punishment. I see. That's all I wanted to know. So the traitor becomes the killer's next target. Well, sucks to be mad on guard. Ah, I get it. This is how we'll turn this case around. Mr. Wright? Yeah? My contract with my client is over as of now. I seem to have a new job on my hands. I will now return to you your precious item. What the? I'm not an item. Ah, you basically are. Maya, I never thought I'd see you again. Oh, thank goodness. This trial appears to have come to its conclusion. However, I actually am sort of, I don't know what, Miss Von Karma, where did that? She always has you in her sights. Now, I do believe it's time to finally hand down a verdict. Wait, did the killer say that it was Matt on guard? Mr. On guard, it looks like somehow you got what you wanted. You'll finally receive the acquittal you wanted so badly. You should be happy. Oh, I see what happens here. On guard knows that the killer's gonna kill him, so he's going to admit to it all because he thinks he'll be safe in prison. But before that, I would like to make one final statement. Sometime in the near future, one very betrayed assassin may appear before you. Needless to say, that man is very good at what he does. I'm sure you would understand what I mean if you watch this video. Help me. Now then, Your Honor, the verdict, if you please. Is this all right with you, Mr. Wright? We finally reached the end of a very long battle. Whether he's convicted or acquitted, there's no escape for him now. Go on, Phoenix. Plead whichever way your heart tells you. Right, Chief. Wait, do I need to plead guilty so that Adrian isn't put in prison? I'd rather him be not guilty so that he gets murdered by the killer. I want him to die. You can do whichever one you want. Oh, does it not matter? What does my guide say? For plea, you can choose either option. The ending will be the same either way. All right, cool, whatever. I plead guilty. Matt on guard. Even though I'm a lawyer, I cannot make your crime disappear. I think a guilty verdict is appropriate here. Me, my wonderful self, guilty? Even if you got an acquittal, the instant you set foot outside the detention center, your life would be in danger. No matter which way you look at it, you can't run away from your crime anymore. No! Oh my goodness, he's just clawing his face? That's disgusting. Ew. As always, it looks like we've uncovered the real truth. We? I don't remember you helping out much in this. Mr. Edgeworth, how's Matt on guard? I've left Miss Von Karma in charge of his incarceration. I'm sure he's getting a full-course meal of whip leather right about now. Very good. That was a close one, wasn't it, witness? Yes, I plan to pay my debt to society for my own crime, Your Honor. The first time I was called to the witness stand during this trial, all I felt was despair. She must be talking about the time Edgeworth really went after her. Guess she's trying to forgive him for what he did. This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness. If you're gonna say you would choose death, that is of no concern to me. I don't know, I think that Edgeworth was kind of in the right for that. He was kind of based, I'm not gonna lie. But after that, when I was alone at the detention center, that's the first time I really saw myself for who I am. And today, when the two of you used your combined strength to convict Matt, which goes completely against the concept of a prosecutor and a lawyer, by the way, and, like, both of them should be disbarred, I felt like I had finally been saved. Wow, this is the first time I've ever seen her smile. I'm really happy you two were in charge of this case because, you know, if anyone else had actually tried to do their actual job, then things would have gone wrong. I really don't know how to express how I feel at this moment. This is the first time I felt comfortable with myself, with who I am. Thank you so much, everyone. Sure, whatever. Looks like we've resolved everything at last. As for myself, there are still a few things I'm confused about, but everyone seems to be in good spirits, and that's good enough for me. That is all. The court is adjourned. What a joke of a court. You were great out there, Phoenix. I don't know about all that. What I did out there was right, wasn't it? This is the first time you've not gotten your client off. I don't like the way that you said that. You got them a guilty verdict this time. But you have to look past all of that to what's really important. You now realize that there's something more than just getting a not guilty, right? So, like, realistically speaking, what they're saying, the moral they're getting across here is right, that, like, you shouldn't protect bad people. But from the perspective of a prosecutor and a lawyer, you, like, your only job is to do the best you can do for your client because, like, everyone deserves fair representation in court. You know? I'm just saying. Yes, I understand now. Phoenix, think back for a second. Think to the moments before Miss Von Karma arrived with the final pieces of evidence. Think about the incredible decision you had to make. Are you actually giving me a Naruto flashback? I'm not reading this. What in the Naruto flashback is this? Shut up. This was literally like 20 minutes ago, game. I don't need a run back on this. Is he guilty or is he not guilty? Those were your choices then, and your answer? Your answer spoke to what being a lawyer means to you. Not doing your job properly. Right. Edgeworth. I have good news. Maya is now safe in police custody. Really? Pearl, you're telling us the truth, right, Mr. Edgeworth? No, he's friggin' lying to you. Yes, she's quite safe. She's on her way here as we speak in a patrol car. Mystic Maya safe. You did it, you really did it, Mr. Nick, yada yada. Ow, she punches deceptively hard for a kid. I believed in you. I kept saying to myself, Mr. Nick will save her. Wham. Thanks. Ah, what's wrong? Miss Von Karma. Oh, Von Karma, you were like an important character in this game at one point. Do you remember that? When you were like relevant and then Edgeworth showed up and you became irrelevant other than to like bring the evidence in that one time, which they could have just had Gumshoe do anyway, but they decided to have you do it? About earlier, thanks. Ow! Why are you still smiling, Phoenix Wright? You lost. Your perfect win record has now been crushed. I don't think did he have a perfect win record? And yet you're still happy? I don't think you'll ever understand, Von Karma. How dare you? Don't worry, she may in time. After all, I was like that myself until a year ago. Edgeworth? For my own personal victories and for guilty verdicts. I used every dirty trick in the book, and so my win record remained spotless. But a man appeared and stood fast against that selfish me. I fought him in my usual manner and tasted my first defeat. Words I can't read. Felt like I had lost everything because of that. We didn't lose once. Does Phoenix not take any cases other than the ones in this game? How does Phoenix afford to live? There's no way that Phoenix makes enough money with the amount of clients that he's taken if it's just the first and the second game as all of his cases ever. And then it was my turn to sit in the defendant's chair. And I was saved by that person I called my enemy. I couldn't forgive myself for all that had happened, so I left the prosecutor's office. And I left that note, Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death. Yeah, it's a really stupid note, by the way. Like, incredibly stupid. Huh, as well you should have. Prosecutor who has shamed himself with defeat should crawl into a hole and die. I literally beat you twice in this game. But that was not what happened. After I left the prosecutor's office, I finally came to realize something. And it was in that moment of clarity that everything began to change. What foolish nonsense. We prosecutors use anything we can to attack the defendant. But every time we did so, no matter how desperate the situation, instead of giving up like most people, that man would hold strong with his undying faith. That man would continue to be a lawyer. Yeah, okay. And then before I knew it, I began to trust in that man as well. Just say Phoenix. What? You trusted your enemy? It doesn't matter how many underhanded tricks a person uses, the truth will always find a way to make itself known. Not strictly true. The only thing we can do is to fight with the knowledge we hold and everything we have. Erasing the paradoxes one by one, it's never easy, we claw and scratch for every inch. But we will always eventually reach that one single truth, this I promise you, a promise he literally cannot keep. The truth. Yeah, just play Persona 4. It gets this point across way better, and it's a better game. Reach out to the truth. Yes, that's the reason why prosecutors and defense attorneys exist, is it? But I'm sure you already knew that. You knew that already, didn't you, right? That's why you couldn't forgive me, this man who went into hiding, isn't that right? This man who only had his sights set on victory, who ran away into the night. Ah, is Mr. Edgeworth right, Mr. Nick? You really let me down. When you disappeared, I felt betrayed. The reason I decided to become a lawyer to begin with was because I believed in the things you said to me all those years ago. And you betrayed your own words. That's why, 1 year ago, I made up my mind. I decided that the Miles Edgeworth I knew had died. At least that's what I told myself. You pathetic fool. Miss Von Karma. I don't want to hear the wretched whimpering of a disgraced loser. You are a loser! A Von Karma is someone who is destined to be perfect. You and your father have both lost. You've lost on multiple occasions. Miles Edgeworth, you are no longer worthy. You are no longer worthy of being a Von Karma. And neither am I. It's over. It's all over. Is this Franziska's way of proposing to Edgeworth so that she can become an Edgeworth? That way there are no more Von Karmas. She'll become Franziska Edgeworth. Edgeworth, I think you're in there, dude. Franziska threw something on the ground just now. This is an electromagnetic receiver. Let's go see my boy Gumshoe! Isn't that the thing she used to track Detective Gumshoe? I'll return this to the precinct later. Wait, what do you mean you're gonna return it to the precinct? Stop tracking Gumshoe. There's something else. Ah, isn't that Miss Von Karma's whip? I'll never set foot in another courtroom again. I'm sure that's why what she's saying by this action. You should keep this right. Okay. Nick! Oh, it's Maya. How much longer do we have to go until this is over, bro? Maya. Mystic Maya. Yeah. Oh, Nick, I knew you would come through. You got on guard convicted like I knew you would, and on top of that, you even rescued me. Well, of course I did. You know I would never desert you. Words I can't read for some reason. But we sure pressed our luck this trial. You're really lucky to be standing here. Whatever. Look, it's over, okay? Besides, if I did croak, I would just come back and haunt you like a bad ghost through Pearl. Horrifying. Is it really that easy to do something like that? Thanks a lot, Nick. Don't mention it. Maya. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm relieved you're all right. Hey, it looks like you've made some real progress, Mr. Edgeworth. Well, I suppose I'm a little different from who I was a year ago. Words. Did the police not give Maya anything to eat? All right, I think it's time we got out of this depressing place. Where are we going? Food, Nick, food. I'm starved. I'm so hungry, even you look like a nice juicy burger on a bun to me, Nick. Okay, weird, very weird. You think I look like a burger? I'm a prime rib at least? What? Come with us, Mr. Edgeworth, please, if you insist. All right, so how about we hit up our usual burger joint? Don't be silly, Nick. Huh? This case messed up that awesome evening and got in the way of my gourmet food. I've decided we have to make it up by having another feast. Phoenix's client was just imprisoned, which means he's not getting paid. He cannot afford whatever you want. Falk, thank you for the tier 1 gift sub. Greatly appreciated, brother. Thank you for the support. Another feast? Come on, Nick, food. Edgeworth, can you cover the tab on this one, bro? This is still set up like 3 days later. Yo, my boy, Gumshoe! Hey, pal, sorry to keep you guys waiting. Gumshoe, are you all right? Yeah, but I'm really embarrassed. I didn't think I would hit a telephone pole of all things. A telephone pole? Then it wasn't a red light that got him? No, I'm not reading your dialogue. I'm done with you as a character. Will Powers, you're cool. Yeah, it was more exciting than the very last episode of The Steel Samurai. Thanks. Not reading, no. I'll give the people watching enough time to read your dialogue, but I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm done with you. If you show up in the 3rd game, I may never play another Ace Attorney game ever again, to be honest. I'll keep that in mind. Nope, not reading your, nope, I refuse. Looks like Lotta bought herself a new camera. Well, pal, at least we can put this messy case behind us now. Come on, tonight's all about eating, so let's go chow down, pal. Amen to that, pal, amen. Gumshoe remains the greatest to ever do it, by the way. You know, when you think about it, you were the one who saved the day, detective. Huh, me? You really think so? He's right. If it wasn't for the 3 items you took, I think the trial would have had a very different ending. Yep, Gumshoe saves the day yet again. Ah, well, you know, it's haha. Huh? Wait, that's odd. When I ran off with the things from DeKiller's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir. What? 4? Yeah, I'm sure I put one of the items in my coat pocket. There was a 4th item? Nope, not reading that, not reading that. Nope, not reading it. No, I'm done with you. Between getting accused, no, that's still your dialogue. It was just a different person on the thing. Nope, not reading that. Nope. I don't respect you, and I don't respect the people who wrote your dialogue. Ha ha ha, you think? Why does she look so happy about that? But being shut away for 2 whole days, weren't you scared? Yeah, it was really scary. I felt so hopeless. So to keep my mind off of things, I drew a picture. Nope, not reading that. I want to see it. I want to see Mystic Maya's picture. You know, I don't know where it went. Oh, is that the other thing that Gumshoe took? That's too bad. Well, it's all right. It wasn't anything important anyway. Sure is nice to finally see them both smiling again. What is it, Edgeworth? Oh, someone's coming close with the jacket. This thing is picking something up. Ah, that's Miss Von Karma's receiver. Thanks to her, I had the most awful experience of my life, sir. I can't believe she stuck a tracking device on me. That's odd. Even though you're standing here, tracking device seems to be in a different location. Yeah, it's in his jacket, you idiots. It's probably busted or something, sir. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm afraid it's about time for me to excuse myself. I still have some work to do. But Mr. Edgeworth, you haven't even eaten anything yet. And you've eaten way too much, you glutton. I'm having to drink water because I have to read so much. I had fun tonight. Now if you'll excuse me. Wait, what? I just want to say thanks, Edgeworth. You really saved me out there. If anyone should be saying thanks, it should be me, right? I feel like words alone aren't enough here. I wonder if there's anything I can give him to express how I feel. What am I supposed to give him, chat? What am I supposed to give him here? Does it tell me in this guide I have? Oh, I'm supposed to give him Von Karma's whip. Oh, I'm actually even over Von Karma's whip. The guide says to give it Von Karma's whip. Take that! Take that! What's this? Thank you, it's all thanks to you two. You and her. No, it was all thanks to Gumshoe, actually. You don't need to thank me, I was only doing my job. Looks like Mr. Edgeworth has left, Mr. Nick. Hey, Mystic Maya. Yes, Pearl. I guess you two can go back to being lovey-dovey, right? You and Mr. Nick, I mean. Pearl, would you cut it out already? You're embarrassing me. Anyway, who's paying for this lovely dinner party? As if you need to ask, everyone say thank you to Nick. Huh? Oh yeah, I'm kinda at the point where I can't even buy instant noodles, pal. Kinda already put your name on the bill. Alright, that's messed up, Gumshoe. That's messed up. Huh? Not reading that. Ho ho ho. Ho ho ho. Isn't this great, Mr. Nick? Yeah, you're gonna be in even more debt. Yeah, Nick. Why do I suddenly feel like screaming? Yeah, pal, time to let it all out. This is gonna be the first time I hear the real you. Go on, it's been a while since I heard you say it. I've been busy being a hostage and all. Alright then, if you say so. Objection. Oh my goodness, we are finally done with Justice for All. Holy cow. Oh, do I have to read? Dude, please stop. Stop! Really came through, Nick. I had to hide that letter, but I knew you'd find it. I really feel like I've been living on the edge lately. I mean, I've escaped death 3 times now. Pretty cool, huh? I feel like a pro. I can't even talk about the game during these credits because they're gonna put dialogue that I have to read. I'm so happy that you could save Mystic Maya, Mr. Nick. And I'm so happy for the 2 of you. Speaking of which, I think this hotel is a popular place for honeymooners. Oh my goodness, shut up. Sort of made reservations for the 2 of you just in case. Freak. That kid is a freak. Gumshoe. Well, pal, it looks like I'm back on the force again. Mr. Edgeworth had a long talk with the chief and he got me reinstated for my sake. I heard he said things like, letting that one go is bad for all of society. Based. I knew it. Crashing headlong into everything is the only way to live, pal. Based. We're like an hour and 40 minutes and this is still going. I forgot that you were a character. I, Maggie Bird, am retiring this uniform as of today, sir. I'm gonna be a waitress from now on. What? And bring smiles and joy to the people who come by the restaurant, sir. You're an idiot. Hope you'll stop by sometime, Mr. Wright. I'm gonna give up my well-paying, like, police position, my well-paying police position to, live off of tips. Genius. Idiot. Yeah, so you're here to visit a patient. I'm Director Hody, yada, yada, yada. Sure, whatever. Recently, yes, that girl, you know, I haven't seen her around. Yes. But I remember if I even laid so much as an eye on her, it would go crack. Yeah, the whip. Okay, sure, yeah. Didn't matter if I got whipped, though. Yes. No. Indubitably. Holy cow, these credits are so long. It's time to begin our quest of world circus domination, sweetie. And to let the world know we are serious, I plan to make a fabulous flight to Zimbabwe. Hey, Max, what do you think Zimbabwe is like? Do you think there are castles made of cake and bunnies who can talk? I think if there are any talking bunnies, even they won't laugh at Moe's jokes. Alright, freaks. Yeah, I'm not reading your dialogue either. I'm not reading yours, I'm not reading Lauda's, I'm not reading Old Bag's. I'm not reading yours either. I don't like Justice for All. I don't like this game. The first two cases are fine. The third case is absolute trash, and I just don't like the fourth case. The fourth case is, like, okay, but I think it kind of sucks. The way Edgeworth just suddenly comes back after they tried to build up this whole thing with him, it feels very, like, sudden and just thrown in. And whatnot. Oh, stretch. The whole business with Ungard and The Killer, like, it's a neat twist that, like, Ungard was the bad guy and we're representing him, but, like, it just felt, like, really, really dragged on, and I didn't really find it that fun, to be honest. There are a lot of moments in this game, especially because now you have to present profiles as well as evidence, where the game just feels like it really drags, and it expects you to, like, find really, really niche specific things. So, and it just, man, it lasted so long. This fourth case was, the second game in general makes the cases too long. I think that the first game had way better pacing in how long the cases were compared to this one. I don't care if a lot of people who play Ace Attorney think that the 2-4 is like one of the best cases in the series. There are plenty of times where a bunch of people say that they like something and it's still bad. That's just how the world works. I think it's garbage. I think it sucks. Absolutely, like, destroys my suspension of disbelief that, The Killer radioed in as a witness. That's not even, like, funny, like, wow, I can't believe they allowed this, like, with the parrot. That's just like, wow, I can't believe they allowed this. This makes no sense, and feels like it's specifically, like, it feels like just like a plot device where it's like, hey, we couldn't, like, make this case feel legitimate, so we had to just make up random crap. Do not like it. Do not like it at all. Where are you going, Franziska? How did you know I was here? With this... That's... I heard you were planting things on a certain person. Things like tracking devices in his coat, for example. Huh. That's just like you. I only planted it there because he was always wearing it. This filthy drab coat of his. I don't know how it ended up in my luggage. But it's going in the trash, I promise you that. Oh, that's right. Speaking of that man, he told me something very interesting. When I ran off with the things from The Killer's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir. 4 things? It seems he put the last one in his coat pocket. He put it in here. It doesn't matter anymore. The case is already over. What are you going to do now? That's none of your business. Are you running away? Shut up! You don't understand a thing. You can't possibly understand what it means to be Manfred von Karma's daughter. Franziska, so many expectations from everyone around me, expectations I must fulfill. I'm expected to win no matter what, and failure, such a thing is not an option for me. My father was a genius, there's no doubt about that, but me, I'm no genius, I've always known that. But I had to be one, I had to. You may not be a genius like your father, but you are a prosecutor, you have been and always will be. Well, not if she quits, then she won't be a prosecutor anymore. That's not how being a prosecutor works. No, I'm not anymore. I've even thrown my whip away. Speaking of that, Wright gave me this to hold on to. Right, you knew something like this would happen, didn't you? No. I'm gonna say this again. We prosecutors do not fight for personal honor or pride. I hope you'll think deeply about what you should be striking down with that whip. You haven't changed a bit. You've always left me alone and walked on ahead without me. Miles Edgeworth, I've always hated you. And then, finally, my chance to take my revenge on you arrived. If I could win against that man, if I could make Phoenix Wright bow down in defeat, then this girl you left behind would have risen higher than you. That was supposed to be my revenge. We are almost at 2 hours and this trial day is still going. I get that it's also the end of the game, but like, please, for the love of all that is holy, get me out. I see. You know, I can't do it. I can't change who I am. I can't throw away everything I've been until today. I believe you can. Just like how Adrian Andrews did. Adrian Andrews? You were gonna use her during the trial, right? But you were dependent on your father by using his tactics. Isn't that right? Today, you chased after me, after I had left you behind all these years. And that's why we're standing here now, side by side. But I have no intention of stopping. If you say you're going to quit your walk down the prosecutor's path, then this is where we part ways, Franziska von Karma. What? I am Franziska von Karma. Yeah, that's what it says on your license, presumably. Don't think I'm gonna walk in your shadow forever. Our battle begins now. So you had better prepare yourself, Miles Edgeworth. What are you talking about? Okay. Phoenix Wright. One day, someday, I'm sure we'll meet again in battle. Until then, this last piece of evidence that never made it to you, I'll take good care of this fourth piece, so I can give it to you when at last we meet again. Is this Edgeworth or Franziska talking? Who cares? Okay. People enjoy the last case because it's a desperate struggle not to get your client called innocent, but to work with Edgeworth and try to buy time for Gumshoe and Franziska. I don't feel that it does it very well, though, personally. I don't think it does it in a good way. I think that, like, the way that Phoenix and Edgeworth, like, try and continue the back and forth is kind of, like, contrived and almost forced, honestly. And I don't find the way that you have to go through the evidence and whatnot in 2 for fun. I don't think it's fun at all. I think that a lot of times it's very obtuse and kind of just annoying, to be honest. So, if other people had fun with it, more power to them. I didn't have fun with it, and I think they did it very poorly, and thus, I don't like 2-4. I think that 2-4 sucks. So, other people, of course, always allowed their opinions, but I don't agree with anyone who... I do not agree with anyone who says that 2-4 is good, because I don't think it's good. I think it sucks. Now, 1-4 went hard. The end of the first game was incredible. End of the second game, could not care less. I couldn't care less about Justice for All at all. Honestly, like, if the game just didn't exist, I think that Ace Attorney would be all the better for it, because Justice for All sucks. But, yeah. See you in 3 hours. This will be all we talk about. No, it won't, Falk, because I'm not talking about this with you guys tonight. I've already said my opinion. But, Anyways, for those of you watching on YouTube, I hope you all enjoyed. I'm sorry that I didn't like Justice for All. I really, really liked the first game. I really liked, is the first one just called Ace Attorney? Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney? I really liked Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, even though I didn't like its DLC case because I didn't want to sit through it, but I liked the original Ace Attorney. I really don't like the second Ace Attorney game. The second Ace Attorney game sucks. I will never play it again. I've washed my hands of it completely. I do not care about it. I have heard a lot of good about Ace Attorney 3, which we're going to get into. But we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it's more like the first Ace Attorney and not like the second Ace Attorney. But we'll see. For those of you watching on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed the playthrough regardless. If you would like to catch streams live, link to my Twitch channel in the description. I would love to see you there. Or keep watching on YouTube. I appreciate your support either way. And until next time, farewell.